range
Okay.
on it, it may make it so that it's just going to wash everything. Let me see. Okay, so magic. Three Eyes Supernatural. So here's how we can do this with your vision, and just like with the night vision, I'll let you choose how you want this to be. One an initiative and one to strike. I want to
If
remember that
if
for
I
your
have a
profile.
specific, if I have a specific one that I would prefer over the other, but ask if there's a way that we can ask to either flash the other one to see the difference. I don't know.
Um, so what I can do is I could do the night vision, and instead of any kind of tint, I could just put in the 1,200 feet distance. Let's see how this looks. I want you. This is really important to get this where you guys are going to be comfortable looking at the maps, because what I don't want is to put some kind of filter over that just makes everything look fucked up. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we can do this where, okay, tint color is. I think clear is what gives us like clean light. Night vision effect, and that. So we could do. Let's just do like dimming, which starts at like, we'll just say 1,000, and then 200 or 1,200 for full limited field of vision. No bright light. Nope. Low light, total light. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so this
Oh
is
shit. Okay.
this is with your, now you're going to see out to 1,200 with it starting to dim at 1,000. We will
Yeah.
very rarely be on maps that size, but if we keep it set like this, you are going to you're going to be able to see perfectly. I You just tell me, does this leave enough of the light effect for you to be happy? Because what it's going to do is kind of reduce the impact of that. Does that make sense? Like before, you were seeing darkness, which was kind of denoting where light sources and shit were coming from. With
Yeah.
this, you're going to like, as I'm looking through your character right now, I can still see some of the glow over by the anvil and on the forge and that, but it's, you just don't see much of it. So you let me
It's
know
not
kind
like
of.
a big impact. Is that what you're looking for?
It's
So it's like
it's a I just want to give you. I want it
so
to
this
look how you would rather it be, but you could have it this bright and have it be totally within the rules and be 100% okay. But if you'd like
can
it
I
to be darker, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like maybe like half this? Is that the same one you what you had before? Is it like a percentile that you had?
N-
Like
though
25% visibility?
it's not really like that, unfortunately. This particular one, we can't.
So this is with
It's
something
off of range. You can't really tell it how much light. You could just tell it like the color and how far to make the light go. And then I can also make it so that what's around you, no, that's with emitting light, not the vision. So yeah, that's kind of about all the options I have with it.
Okay. Is there a way, like I was asking before, to have it the way that you what that I had before, but ask if since I have my eyes on, am I able to use it to visually see it and then flip it back to where it was before?
Yeah,
Kind of like
I don't,
a quick
yeah,
scan.
like switching a lens and a fucking like optics
Hmm.
piece or something. Yeah, so as you say that, what we can do is just go ahead and kick it off, and you're right back to this kind of thing.
Oh,
So
that's perfect.
if
I
that
didn't have
works.
this before. Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay. And again, Bear, if Ymir gets to the point where he's like where you're like, I just don't like the green. I don't. Just let me know, guys, and I'll adjust
No,
everything
no,
for you.
those colors are perfect.
Okay,
But the issue that I had is that where I was standing, I didn't see anything in front of me.
I get
This
you.
right here is perfect.
Okay, and
That's why I was
once,
asking if I had the eyes on, I should be able to see more. I feel like I have like a very big shadow on top of me.
yeah, yeah,
Before it was like,
Well,
oh,
you
my eyes
do.
were open totally. This one is more like I'm waking up in the morning and I see like half visibility, so to say.
yeah. And as soon as I let you guys know that you obviously try not to fuck it up by moving way outside of where you'd be able to, like don't try and move off the stairs or whatever, and I'll usually tell you, okay, don't move past, like I said here, the door. But once we
Hmm.
start on a battle map, I'll allow you guys, unless the action's really taking off, you guys are more than welcome to grab your character and just kind of take a step, take, move around just a little, whatever, and kind of just, I'm fine with that. And that's going to
Cool.
actually open up your fog of war and give you those different angles, because we're setting these up where it's going to, like, if shit's in your way, you can't see past it. So it's important.
Yeah. And that was what I was trying to say because I didn't know where I was in the beginning, and you're saying like the door was over here, but I couldn't see it. It
That
wasn't in front of me.
that was my fault. I got to remember on these battle maps, what I'm going to try and do is I'm describing to each person what they're seeing. I'm going to click on
Yeah.
your token, and then I'm going to make it so that I'm looking through your eyes. Then I can
Yeah.
actually give you each an accurate. I was just thinking more about the mystical shit. So,
Oh
okay,
no, you're
so
straight. I like it.
yeah, we're getting this. Look at how much better this shit runs than the the
That
power
shit looks
plant.
nice though.
I
The
won't even.
screen, nice.
We'll never have another power plant. I promise you guys that. All right, so
Wow.
as you look around, the last of what you're seeing is essentially over on the right hand side. You're seeing all kinds of gems and raw materials, lots of tools and different shit, and then a bunch of barrels there and some crates with it looks like, like, what do you call it, like painters coverings, like tarps, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And you also see that somewhere over in this corner, beyond, it seems like it's behind a bunch of shit, so you're just seeing little sparkles here and there. It looks like there's
Okay.
some kind of magical aura coming from something off to that side, but it's like behind shit, it looks like. Um,
If I were to pinpoint, what would be more the most magical aura I'm getting?
right here. Big time.
Okay.
Big time. Even though
And I would say
this anvil,
the second
this
one.
looks
Yeah.
almost like the bat signal shooting up
Yeah.
towards the ceiling. It's
Gotcha.
just like this kind of like, like a tube of fucking energy. But you're getting the sense that it's like that because this is incredibly focused enchantment. It's not just wild surging magic like a fucking like
Mm.
fire. It's like a
Different
power
ways of
line,
forging.
right? So,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
so that's about all the mystical shit that you are
Cool.
seeing. Oh, you do see a slight roll a perception check for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how shitty I roll. Where are you? Where are you? Take this. Ha! Jesus. Roll some more, please.
All right. You do notice that there appears to be some kind of low level enchantment coming off of this creature from a something in their rear pocket. You're able to see it as
Ooh.
they're turned around and pumping away on those big old beautiful bellows. See some kind of little glow coming out of this thing's rear pocket. All right. I think we're good. You guys have taken just a moment to kind of look around as you've gotten to the bottom of the stairs, and I think you were each carrying supplies, correct? Hadn't you each taken a box to help carry? Am I? wrong
I don't
about
know
that?
about that.
No,
I don't
no,
know about that.
no,
Or
no.
no,
I ain't
they
no
were
slave.
carrying boxes
Uh,
and you guys followed them back to the shop, right?
Yeah,
yeah, I think
And then
yeah,
they had
yeah.
gotten down and just unpacked and started doing their shit. Okay, okay.
right.
So as you guys get down to the bottom, let's go ahead and get off of this. There we go. I'm gonna say 10 now. I'm gonna say 10. Let's see. Ymir, as you finish kind of gazing around, you see that Lars has finished his work and slowly moves over towards the door. He walks towards the door and looks at you, Ymir. And as he looks up at you, you see that his face, he looks like he's got the fucking plague, bro. His face is sunken in. He's got some of the darkest fucking circles you've ever seen around his eyes.
Jeez.
His face looks all pale and just kind of like fucking just almost emaciated. And he just looks horrible. Now, you had just seen him upstairs, and he looked not great after drinking, definitely. He looked really fucking rough, but he looks like 3 times as bad as he did just a few moments ago upstairs. And as he looks up at you and his fucking cheeks are like sagging down like a basset hound and his fucking face is like a Shar-Pei, just like all wrinkles, and it looks like he's fucking melting and deflating at the same time. And you also note that there's this really nasty gleam of blackish, like fucking almost like slime that seems to be just kind of pumping out of his fucking brow. And as he walks forward, he picks up this big, nasty fucking rag and he just wipes it across his forehead and up through his hair to kind of get what you can tell is coming out of his scalp as well. And he takes the rag and he fucking looks at it and it's actually like ready to drip on the ground after he does this. So he kind of balls it up and he just throws it over into a corner the behind the door. He kind of throws it off in this direction where you would guess there's probably several of these. And as he looks up at you, you see there's still like fucking smears of it and shit all over his brow and it looks horrible. But as soon as he wipes it, you see just a little bit of color come back to his fucking face. And you see a bunch of his flesh kind of like firm back up and go back where it should be. He looks up at you with those kind of sunken, almost like cataract eyes that are all like fogged over. And he just kind of nods meekly and he goes, "Brother, it is time." And he coughs a bunch of this same black shit up and produces a new rag and wipes his hand and then wipes his mouth.
Well, well, as the projectile cough leaves his mouth, Ymir kind of backs up and cocks his head in concern and goes, "Indeed, we have not. I have not talked to Boss Drago yet. But why do you look like you were touched by the Baba Yaga?"
He looks up at you kind of uh, a bit embarrassed, I would say. And he looks at you right in the eye and he walks forward a few steps to make this conversation a bit more clandestine. And he leans forward just a bit and says very quietly, he says, "I had to take some sweat it out. I usually won't touch this stuff, but I was quite drunk last night, my brother. I am very ashamed, and the Forge Master will brook no disrespect of this nature from one such as I. do this often, I would say. I will be honest. I have a bit of drinking problem, but it's under control, and she's worth it. She's worth it. I love her. And my Schmiegel, he loves her too, and I like to. I like to drink. I like to shake my stupka. I like her to make my stupka shake. I enjoy nightlife, and this is how I spend my hard-earned money. Sue me, god damn it. Anyway, I must abide by his rules and regulations to the best of my ability. So when I come in this way, he knows. Give me 5 minutes, and he sweat it out. I will be 100%. And he, from his pocket, he produces a little container that you would swear you could see in any kind of candy vendor across the continent. Just a small plastic kind of rectangular container, and it just has a simple sticker on it that says "Sweat it out," and it almost looks like modern like Rolos. It's just this little fucking pack of these little black cubes, and he shakes it back and forth, and you can see there's like 3 of them left in the package, and he just puts it right back in his pocket. As he does this, he gets another kind of racking cough, and a bunch more shit comes out. He cleans it up as quick as he can. As he does this, he looks over at you, Akama, and he says, he holds his kind of black, soaked, nasty phlegm rag up in front of him, and he kind of goes, oh, excuse me. You must stay, Atlantean. The Forge Master, he says that your arcane energies will interfere with the forging process. Unfortunately, you must stay behind the door. It will be closed and locked, but you will be more than welcome to stand on that side of it as we perform our work today. Tomorrow, during your companion's forging process, you may participate in any way you wish. With this, he kind of looks over at you, Ymir, and he kind of looks at you seriously for a moment and just like waits and sees what you're going to say.
Well, Ymir is confused by this because Lars initially said, great, bring your companion, security is always needed, and now he's telling his brother-in-arms to go away. So he looks at him confused and raises an eyebrow and goes, "This is not what you said before, brother. You offered my companion Akama to come with us. Why shut him
Okay,
out?"
as you're saying this, he goes, brother, you should respect the Forge Master's wishes. Just comply. Everything will be fine. And he just looks at you very plainly. Very plainly.
Ymir narrows his eyes, looks at Akama, scans the room again, noticing
Roll a perception.
both. Okay.
GM,
Yes, sir.
is there a possibility to call Ren using the comms without being noticed? Just call him, and not necessarily to say something, just to call him.
Guys, remind me, what do you guys have for your setup? Ren's is built into his helmet, right? Isn't your, or do we not have that yet? You were gonna get that? What?
I would have done that myself if I could have already, but I don't. I mean,
We had plenty of time.
You've got an
We had
actual.
other things going in.
You've got like an actual. Does your helmet have like enhancements or anything to it? Does it have a heads-up display? Is it like, I'm not exactly.
there's a slight heads-up display on my helmet. It's got It's I mean it's basically it's for protection
Because
of my face while
you're
using the glider, but it's
you're pretty much predicated on engineering, machining. You're like a tech guy. You're like this, that, and the other. So since you're starting out with all of these, like, different, you have tools and you have all this different shit. I don't have a problem with us saying, okay, you've the helmet that you
No,
use
yeah, I had
has.
said that when we got our communicators that I would have put that into my headpiece if I could. I would have done that right away. But I
Okay,
never had a chance to go anywhere to get things if I had
Dang, dog.
to, do different things to it.
and that's the thing, is we're gonna have to figure out how that's gonna work, because if you're wearing a helmet, you're not even really like, are you listening for like your little handheld thing to go off and then you're opening your helmet and putting it up to your ear, or it doesn't really track. I
Maybe
think
like
it'd probably make
a
sense.
UI will pop up on the lens, like, oh, incoming call.
That's what I'm thinking, is that since you've already got the ARM computer, and because of your profession, it makes sense to me that you would have already had like a communication suite in the helmet itself that would also be connected to the
Yeah, I
computer.
mean, I would have if
If
that was
it
possible.
works.
I mean,
So let's just
we got communicators. So I don't know if I had
Let's
to
just say
let's
we
attach
have
it
it.
to or sync it to
Is
or
it
whatever.
let's just say that essentially the small communicator that you're using, let's say that it's like a small unit like this, that is like a very small kind of high-tech walkie-talkie, almost like a police unit,
In my helmet.
and you essentially could just plug something into one of the ports that's going to now connect it to your internal system anyway, and so you can just plug and play shit like that into your setup. And then if something gets damaged or fucked up, we'll work with it from there. But it kind of, I mean, you obviously would have had something like that, I think, already. And we'll just, does that work for you?
Yeah,
So
no,
you
that's what I
almost
was
have it like
hoping to
just
do.
kind of plugged
yeah,
in.
we had
Okay.
never.
Maybe
We had discussed
like
it one
in
time,
his
and I said I
sleep.
would do that if that was possible, but we never
Yeah, fuck it.
went back to it.
Bro,
That works for me.
maybe like in your sleep, you're like crafting small things, like simple things. And this is like a project that takes like 30 days of sleep, and you just,
He
doing it
sleep
like
walks, he sleep builds,
sleep
the
builds.
fucking sleep builder.
Like,
He's
this
out
would be
hustling
like,
for parts. That's fucking good.
he got like an internal power that he doesn't know. It's just like, oh, did the comma make this for me? No.
Fucking shit keeps showing up with bows on it in the morning. People are like, what the
Shit.
fuck? Got a new
You're
remote?
welcome.
All right.
You're welcome, master. And you're like,
All
is your
right.
beard sending me some, crazy shit? What's up?
So with that ironed out, um, let's just say that for you to do it quietly, a comma, I mean, you could basically turn your back to the group and just kind of step forward, maybe kind of, kind of conceal it and shit, and kind of just really quickly. But I'm going to say that your communications devices do have an earpiece on a cord that you can take off of the main deal instead of using it just like a walkie-talkie. There's a little earpiece that you can put in.
Okay.
So you can have that option so that it's not broadcasting like in speaker mode, if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep it in the ear.
Okay.
Nice and quiet. Discreet.
Okay. So as you do that, as they're talking, you go ahead and put a communique out, and we're gonna say, Ren, you are.
I would be almost back by now, I would think.
Yeah, you're actually. We're gonna say this is picking up right about where you're at as you're coming up to the large door. We'll say as you kind of pull the handle down and start opening the large door, that's when you realize that you're getting a communique from a comma. And as it goes through, go ahead, and what do you want to say, a comma? He's literally
Nothing.
well, you wouldn't know this. Anyway, it goes through. You don't want to say anything or do it. Okay. Just an open channel.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so Ren, you definitely hear what's going on behind a comma now. As you're listening, it becomes apparent pretty quickly that they're just, pretty much at the end of the stairs ahead of you. down in the darkness below. There's just some slight glowing coming from around the corner of the stairwell. It spirals kind of down in a circle. So as
Hello, is it a butt dial? Hello, hello.
and you hear him coming through on the line, you can respond if you want. Ren, are you wanting to go ahead and start heading down the stairs? You want to continue on?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would try to get there as quickly as possible without looking like a madman running or dashing. But yeah.
All right, you're heading down there, and you start picking up this conversation going on in the background now. We'll switch back over to you, Ymir, as Lars is standing there kind of looking at you. What would you like to do?
Repeat yourself.
What's that?
Ymir is still confused, but he's going to take Lars's advice. He kind of looks at him and just shakes it off like I should get to work because he's ready to work, and goes, "Work hard, play hard, brother. That's what you do. Nature has a way of balancing itself. You drink too much, you have to put that poison in your body." Ymir doesn't understand anything about the what did you refer to it as?
Sweat it out.
Sweat it out. Yeah. He's never seen anything like that.
Okay. As you're saying this, he pukes up about another half pint of that black tarry shit into that rag and wipes up and then throws it off into the corner again. He just nods very weakly, but you see that after this latest expulsion, he actually is starting to kind of look like himself again. His whole form is maybe 80% back to normal. So just that one little bit of sputum just basically brought him back like 30-40%. He just kind of nods kind of very weakly and starts turning to head back. It looks like he's gonna start walking towards the main forge itself here.
I'll go ahead and look at you, Ymir, and I'll say, so, you want me to stand outside where they close the door? Is that okay? You okay with that?
You will stand there and wait, brother.
What was the
Just
purpose
it.
of me coming? I'm
I-
through the comm to a
And
comma.
I turn around. How close am I to Ren right now?
You
I'm
would,
coming down the steps.
yeah, you would say you can actually hear Ren walking down the steps. He's about 15 feet up the stairs from you now. He's just around the corner where he can't quite see into the room yet.
Am I hearing, besides through the comm, am I actually hearing them speak as
Yeah.
well now? Like,
Yep.
It should be going through my mic. That's the reason why I called.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, am I close enough to actually
Yeah,
hear?
you're close
not
enough
just
now.
through the mic.
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing double basically.
Because it's getting piped up through the
Now,
fucking.
as you guys are talking, I'll talk down the. I'll like sit on the staircase.
So
What was
as
the
I
purpose?
say that, I turn around and I see you as you come down the stairs, and I give like kind of like a kind of like not like a T-bow, but kind of like a take my arm and I thrust it toward my side, like yes. And I look at you and I say, they don't want me because I'm too mystical. So have a good day. And I just keep walking up the stairs.
Oh, you're gonna walk up
What
the
am-
stairs?
Like I'll stand like in the middle, like walk up to the stairs to sit down on the stairs.
Okay. You're still where you can like look into the room though?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they said they were gonna close it, but I mean I don't know.
Okay. And
I
Ymir,
just-
let me, in just a second, you're going to be right back up to him. I just want to check. Ymir, are you wanting to start doing anything right now, or are you holding off for a second? Or what are you doing?
You cut
yeah,
out
you're cutting out. You're starting to cut out a bit.
Here we go. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ymir, what do you want to do? Are you just very quickly, are you wanting to start heading into the room or do anything else or?
He just puts his massive paw up and goes, "Watch and listen from your position, just in case." And he shoots a sharp glance at both the blacksmith assistant that had the, well, at least in the artwork, had the rod in his hand, and the chitterer, and goes, as I said, I do not trust them, so be ready. And then I'll start to make my way, I guess. Well, I'm stepping over a comma. I was gonna start moving into the door.
Don't look
I
up.
mean, I still don't see you on my map, so I mean, do you? So if you are, I mean, it's
I have
okay
no
for
map.
me, I guess. Yeah, you're not there yet.
I'm
I'm
You are,
just
but you're not.
I'm just gonna go
okay.
like this
This
real quick.
conversation,
Yeah,
I would have been up and
absolutely.
down the stairs like 6 times already.
We're just gonna go like this.
Thank you.
Okay. And now, as you round the corner, we're going to go like this.
In these brief seconds, Ymir still scanning the room, kind of in wanderlust of all these magical gems and artifacts around. It's a real treasure trove for his eyes because he hasn't been around a proper forge or any of these materials in a very long time. And so, despite the situation, he's got a lot of anticipation behind this because he hasn't touched a forge in quite some time, especially not one of this caliber.
All right, excellent. And we've got. Okay, Ren, you can see everything okay?
My token is at the bottom where it's black, but I can see the lit up forge area, the furnace, and the.
Perfect. Excellent.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't see my other companions next to me or anywhere. Am I supposed to?
Yeah, you guys are on the token layer. I'm not exactly sure why you're not seeing each other.
I see a comma and red.
Yeah, I just see me.
I don't
And
see anybody but me.
I'm in just yeah, ditto, and I'm standing in blackness.
Yeah,
Below the stuff.
you're supposed to be because you don't have a light source or night vision. If you have any,
See anything
yeah,
but
if
the
you
light
have
source.
anything activated, that's exactly right. All you're able to see is what's projecting light out. So if you turn on a flashlight, we can do that. We can do whatever. But for right now, it's
Well, yeah, if I was gonna make it down the steps in this pitch blackness, I would have had a flashlight ready or a light source, because otherwise I would have been stumbling on these steps. I
okay.
didn't know it was
Well,
pitch black on the stairwell. Sorry.
no worries at all. Let me turn something on for you. Token emits light. Slow light distance. We'll just do like 25 feet. Directional. What are we gonna say? Like 45, probably. My color clear 25, and that. It's not super bright. Let's just go ahead and add a little bit to that. And we'll say like 40 feet. I think that should be good. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so you're able to see now, right?
And is that Ymir, the big circle, blue circled?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't see Dex, but he might be next to me or something. Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I see your
Uh,
flashlight
grab-
to the left of you.
So you can go ahead and when you click on your token, you can grab the blue square that's out ahead and turn your character if you want. the
Oops. Okay, like that. I just moved myself. I didn't mean to move myself.
when you guys click on your character, do you see him now surrounded by boxes, and then there should be one blue box out away
I've got a
from
blue
them?
square around me.
Yeah, you've got a blue square, and then is there a little blue square off on a line up to the top of your character? Is there like... It should be up by the, like, numerical
Like a
values.
window?
What's that?
Is it like a window?
Yeah, on my screen, I see you guys, when I click on a token, you're surrounded by
It's
three blue boxes on each side and a line between them. So it's like a solid kind of box almost. But there's one more of those little boxes off in front, like up to the top. And that one I'm able to grab, and I can go like this. I can actually turn the token. I don't know if you guys see it.
for you,
Yeah,
Ren,
I've got. Okay. Yeah.
it is over your blue bar. If you're clicking on your character, it's over your blue bar. Your cursor will change form when you reach that area. And then click it and then turn it.
You hold it
So
down
over my
and...
blue bar is over. Okay, so what I have is my character token, little guy moving with a blue box around him. Above that is, I guess, a red bar, a blue bar, and a green bar.
Correct. So
And then
in the
above
blue
that-
bar, in the middle, it's behind it. It's like layered. So think of it as layered. So when you click on your character orientation box that he's talking about, it's over your blue bar. So if you move your cursor to it, it's gonna change to a different type of cursor. So if you click
doesn't.
that and rotate it, then it'll move. But did you see me
It does-
rotate?
There you
I
go.
don't
You
see
just
any-
did it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
no,
did it.
I know. I clicked on nothing because it doesn't appear. It still stays behind my health and all that stuff. I just
Maybe
kinda
you
guessed.
might be able to try and zoom in and out. That might change the perspective and change how... I'm not
zoomed in
sure.
pretty good. It still shows. It doesn't show up. It's.
Hmm.
I mean, I can see the line going to, but it's staying layered where my
Oh, it's
stats or
a
whatever
little
are in
above.
front.
Yeah, it's a little bit above the green
Yeah,
bar.
I can fiddle around and find
As long
it,
as
it's
you
not
know how to
showing.
grab
I
it now,
kinda
we're
guessed where it is.
we're good. So
Yeah, I just wanted to pinpoint that for you if that's the case. 'Cause
I
understand
appreciate
it's a
that,
little
yeah.
bit-
Icon that opens and closes. I don't know what that does.
Oh, so this is... Now that you guys are both down here, let me get off of your deal. Okay, so that now as soon as you step down here, Ren, you see Lars... Well, Ren, I'm just going to say really quickly to save some time. As you look around this room, you're picking up all of this yourself for the first time as well. Everything that we've already shown. If there's anything you'd like to take a specific look at, just let me know and I'll like pop the image for it. But essentially, as you look around, you're just getting caught up on everything that's already been shown and taking a look around the room.
Well, I didn't see anything
Did
beforehand,
you have
so I don't know.
pictures of anything that you said?
Oh, that's right. You were on the different page. My bad. So
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
anything.
didn't see nothing.
as you quickly look around,
I'm gonna listen to everything. I just didn't see anything.
let me
see anything
figured I
either.
wasn't
I heard
supposed
what
to
you
see
were
anything.
saying,
let
but
me go like
I figured
this.
like on the map itself, you can see like what he was talking about because I saw you pinpoint where the area was, but I didn't get any extra picture.
Yeah, I haven't done it
Okay.
until now.
So essentially, you're seeing right here. There we go. I'm so glad we
And
can
the
do that now.
blue. Okay.
As you're looking around, you're seeing Lars, looking still pretty unhealthy, but he has turned and appears to be walking back to the main forge. You're seeing the Forge Master standing just past the forge. And he appears to still be pretty hard at work. And Ymir, I am going to come back to your perception roll, bro. As You look past, you're seeing lots of different things along the walls as far as tools, and on this desk you're seeing lots of signs of arcane kind of instrumentation and instructional material. You can tell that this is definitely a fairly magic-rich environment just by your innate senses with such matters. You're definitely sensing quite a bit of mystical power being channeled and wielded. It appears that this kind of artifact crucible right in the middle seems to be something of a fairly sophisticated nature when it comes to kind of high level, potent, mystical kind of artifacts. You're seeing this individual over by the main forge, or over by the kind of mundane forge, that is hard at work stoking it with coal and fuel. You're seeing over here at the bellows this strange goat-like humanoid creature furiously pumping away at the bellows to stoke the furnace. And in this rear corner, you're seeing some various kind of assorted exotic materials, obviously used in the crafting process, next to all kinds of tools and so forth. You also see some kind of almost like a relic kind of cistern of some type that looks like it has some use in the forging process. You're not sure exactly what it is, though. And you're not seeing a whole lot over here other than barrels and so forth. Things stacked up behind crates with tarps and stuff over them. Okay. Kama, you're caught up now too, right? Oh, I think you're muted, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I was just
Okay.
trying to say that I couldn't see anything before.
Oh, no worries at all, man. Just want to make sure everybody's set.
Yeah, I'm straight. Thank
Okay. And Ren, did that cover stuff for you fairly well?
As far as visuals, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, good. Give me 1 second, Ymir. We're going to be right back to you. Let me get this set. Okay. Sorry, give me just 1 second. Did we go Retro City? I'll just go with this for now. Cancel. Here it is. Okay. All right. Now, as Lars begins walking back, towards the forge itself, you all notice that there we go. Can you guys still see? Good. You all notice that the door of bars seemingly snap shut a little faster and more violently than you would have expected. This says open, closed, and locked. There we go. Okay, so this image obviously shifts to where the door is now completely closed. Through the bars, you guys still can see, everything that you could already on this side. Akama is now sitting down and looking straight forward into the room, and Ren, you are standing directly next to him with your flashlight still on, pointing into the room. Ymir, you have entered the room and are free to decide what you'd like to do next. Lars is continuing to walk around the side of the forge over towards the forge master. He looks over his shoulder as he begins coughing again, and makes a just kind of follow me motion towards you, Ymir. Ymir, as you are standing there taking all of this in after you had stepped into the room, you notice that as the door closed, you instantly kind of looked back over your shoulder, but as you look back around, you realize that just before you look back due to the noise, and now that you snap back to him, the Forge Master is intently staring at you from underneath his kind of sweaty brow that's hung low as he continues to work. You can see the reflection of the crimson glow of the crucible before him in his eyes as he stares at you just kind of coldly and intently. As you're watching, he doesn't really break eye contact. He just continues staring at you through the kind of gloom and the murk and all of the kind of smoke and mist that's rolling around in here. You guys all notice that the air temperature here is probably 20 degrees cooler than it felt above ground. And you are noticing that there are small patches of what look like, some kind of bioluminescent fungus or, lichen, something kind of off in this corner. And you're guessing you're hearing faint noises coming from the workstations and street above, and it sounds to you like maybe there's some kind of vent pipe or some kind of chimney or something off behind the wall in this direction that Akama and Ren, you guys aren't seeing, but you can just identify a little bit of like the noises of civilization coming from around that corner. Ymir, as you hear these as well and just glance over quickly, you notice that there's just a small, what looks like a maybe 2-foot wide opening that goes directly through the ceiling in that corner and appears to have some daylight streaming down through it. And it's hitting the ground in that corner, and you indeed see a large growth of some kind of like moss that has a luminous property about it. It's not emitting a whole lot of light, but it's definitely kind of growing, and it just looks like something that it just hasn't been cleaned up, something that started growing long ago and people just left it because it's already out of the way. But you do see daylight streaming down and in. Okay, so as you look back, you still notice that he is kind of covertly keeping his eye on you, and I'll leave it up to you now. What would you like to do?
Ymir approaches towards the Forge Master. As I stated before, Ymir shoots daggers at both the assistants, I'll just call them blacksmith assistants, the same time, remembering that they pulled weapons on him. That hasn't left his mind. during
Okay.
their last encounter. But he puts it to the side because it's time to work. He has a job to do and he's going to do it. So he follows his advice, approaches the Forge Master, stops right here, sort of at this distance, noticing that the Forge Master has been intently looking at him. He recognizes that stoic kind of the dagger-like look. Ymir stops just short of the engraved silver anvil, runs his fingers along it, looks at Boss Drago and nods his head and goes, "Good morning, boss. Shall we get to work? I deeply apologize that we could not get to work yesterday, but my companions and I wanted to get a lay of the land first. So, tell me, what is the item that you need me to forge?"
Okay. As you're looking around, I just want to make sure to be clear, this is the silver anvil over here.
Oh,
This is like a grindstone kind of thing.
okay. My bad.
Oh, no worries. No worries at all.
Oh,
Okay, as
Yeah, man.
you say this, for the first time he actually looks up and over at you directly, and he says very calmly, "Come to the crucible. I would have our work begin now." And with this, he once again falls silent and begins just kind of pounding away.
Ymir complies and steps forward towards the Forge Master, just out of curiosity.
Okay, Lars comes and takes a place over here, and you see that this individual begins walking around towards the back of the Forge Master. As the Forge Master, as soon as he lets out a kind of distinct, high-pitched, sharp whistle between his two front teeth. That causes this individual to begin walking around behind him, and this individual to begin circling down this way as well. As you approach and take up a position, the Forge Master looks over at you, and he says, he looks up at you and he kind of leans his chin back just a little so that he's almost like looking down at you, which is, he has to lean his head back pretty far since you're so fucking tall.
Yep.
But as he does so, he kind of leans back and you see him take in this deep, unsettling kind of sniff where he kind of goes, and as he does so, you see this look of pain on his face. And you see his nostrils flaring wildly while his eyes are closed, and he seems to just be almost like he just snorted some kind of really toxic substance. And as he holds that breath in, he finally lets everything out with a loud rush of air and a kind of growl. And then as he slowly levels his head again and looks up at you with those eyes reflecting the forge's light, you see a very, very cruel and sinister grin slowly slice its way across his features. As the grim takes form, as the grin takes form, you see that his eyes narrow at you, and he says, "You will do nicely." He turns his head over to his assistants on his left and nods for them to take up positions around, roughly around these, here we go, around these spots. Now, as you guys have all kind of gotten into what appears to be the position that he was wanting everyone, Ymir, you look down, and Akama, as you're watching, you now see this forming as well, with your enhanced vision. Ymir, as you look down, you see this thin, kind of mystical ring of light slowly arc its way around where you're standing to make a perfect circle of some kind of mystic energy in which you stand. You see that each of the other participants seem to have a similar circle around their position as well. Now, you see that in this individual's hands, you see that he does indeed have a thin kind of shaft of metal that's probably about as thick as like a corn cob and maybe, I don't know, about 3 feet long. It is tapered at both ends and looks almost like a double, just like a needle of metal. You would guess from your familiarity with metallurgy that it is some kind of mega damage alloy, just from its general look. But you're not seeing anything that really denotes magical properties so far. He is holding this in both hands, just out in front of him, kind of, palms up, just loosely and relaxed down at his waist. But he does seem to be treating it as though it has some significance. You see that this individual is holding an instrument that looks very similar to what's in his right hand, as well as a hammer in his other. And while the instrument is not glowing, it does look very similar to the one that he's holding, a kind of hooked pole. And finally, as you look over at Lars is actually empty-handed, and he's simply facing towards the crucible, with his head kind of bowed low. His features now look fairly normal in the firelight from what you can see, Ymir. But his head is bowed low, and he just has his hands simply folded in front of him in a prayer-like kind of posture. And he appears to just be lowly chanting or mumbling some kind of something. You're not even sure what language it is. It's so low. Okay.
Can I do a magic lore roll to see if I understand anything about this circle or spell or incantation, whatever they're about to be doing, see if I recognize it, what its purpose might be?
Your familiarity with magic lets you know right away that these are just simple binding circles that are basically connecting all the participants, whether it's to draw on PPE as a power source, or to connect their ability to channel magic into something of a unified effort. It's essentially just, it's like you're now plugged into whatever, arcane equation is about to take place. Beyond that, you're not sure. You've never seen something like this in smithing. You have a lot of experience with arcane smithing, obviously, but you've never seen it as a group practice before. And you're pretty sure from the symbols that are making up some of the circle around the crucible itself that as I said before, it looks like there's different disciplines of magic at play in this greater working, and some of them you're definitely not familiar with at all. So that
Of course.
you know.
Uh huh.
Okay, so